If you sign up to be an artist, to be a creative, it can change you. I have in my life struggled with, oh, I wish I had a better camera. Why not? There's a lot of truth there. There's just one thing that can change all of this. Well, hey there. Gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna title this video. I guess you already know because you've seen the title and you clicked on it and here you are watching. I don't know. I'm gonna try and avoid cliche and clickbaity titles. This is starting off good, like I always do. Yeah, anyways, let's just get into this. Welcome to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley, your resident talking head. This is a rant. This is something that's been on my mind. Being an artist is hard, right? I'm gonna straddle a couple different things here, but hopefully I can fit this all into a nice little bow and hopefully it makes sense. And if you feel compelled and you get to the end, leave me a comment, let's discuss. I love reading the feedback. And by the way, I will put a link down below of a playlist of all the rants. I'm doing kind of like every other video is a rant. I do like an adventure, faces and places, whatever, film, digital, that kind of stuff, then a rant. Because these are honestly easier to make. I can just sit here in my office and then I get in front of my Mac over there and I can bang out a video in, a couple hours. It's pretty cool. And I can go about my way and go on to my project. So I appreciate the feedback and I appreciate you diehards that have been showing up for the rants. I'm gonna keep doing this because, like some people, their whole YouTube channel is them just sitting there talking to a camera. I used to not do that very much, and I'm trying to do it more because honestly, it's a lot fucking easier. And I put a lot of work into the videos. Anyways, you get the point. Let's get into this. So you guys are familiar with this. I don't know how gear obsessed you are, but it's like, there's like 4 or 5 major camera companies. And so between them all, and then they're them sort of upgrading their different categories of products and stuff. We're in a situation where like every few weeks or month or something, there's like some kind of new badass camera coming out, whether you're, with brand A, B, C, or D, or F, or whatever, or there's some kind of new gizmo, or there's something that's, it's game changing. You gotta have it. It's gonna make you better. And then suddenly, your brand new shiny gear that you have, a few months go by or a couple years and you're just like, oh man, really? Well, it was once upon a time like the most awesome stuff you could get. And then once it's like, a generation or two old, and a lot of people are like, I saw a pretty well-known photographer. I was watching like a YouTube live tutorial he was doing, and he was kind of apologizing for his like A7R III or something, which, like I actually owned that camera like 7-8 years ago, whenever that was out. I was full Sony for like a year or two, and I had the A7R III. This guy's a really good photographer, and he was talking about that, and he was sort of apologetic of like, yeah, it's good, it's what I got. But it's like, who cares? I've been thinking about, I'm actually gonna do this. I just have too much other stuff going on right now. But like the next camera that I buy, I'm not even gonna tell you actually. I'm gonna buy like a 16, 17-year-old camera, and I'm just gonna use it for like a year. I don't care. Maybe when I do professional jobs, I'll take something better and more modern, but like for all my personal work, all my personal shoots, all my walking around, I'm thinking of just using like either one of my film cameras, which are all old, or this 17, 18-year-old digital camera. Why not? Why not? Stuff 20 years old. If you know how to shoot, if you're an artist, it's amazing. Hold that thought, because I'm coming back to it. I'm coming back to the gear. Got an itch in my nose. Being an artist is hard, you guys. And I guess I've talked about some of this. I know I have a slightly older audience, I'm told by my analytics. I've talked about that, and I'm like kind of coming to terms with that, or I'm just like, whatever, let's talk about it, because that's who's showing up to watch this stuff. It's not a lot of kids, but if you're my age, like I've had some incredible opportunities, you guys, and the things I've done, gotten to do, gotten to see, gotten to take part in. I mean, even in the last year, I've been on 3 different continents. I was in Belize 2 months, I was in Australia 2 months, I was in Africa 2 months, went to New York City, went to Nashville, went to Colorado, shot an amazing, iconic music festival. Like, that's only in the last 12 months. It's freaking crazy. Not to mention the 50 years before that of all the incredible stuff I did even as a little kid. But professionally, as amazing as it's been, and in a lot of ways beyond what I could have imagined when I was much younger, for sure, there's been a lot of disappointment. I've been fucked over a lot, which is what you get in the creative world. I've been blatantly ripped off. I've been lied to. I've been cheated. I've been manipulated. Things have just not worked out because sometimes that's how it goes. Like, you know, you roll the dice. Sometimes there's disappointments, there's failures, I've failed. I've screwed up. I've done things I wish I hadn't. Things that I thought were really good and should have been successful were not. The hand of God reached in and, you know, natural disasters and things and deaths and like all kinds of wacky stuff has happened to derail things. So there's been a lot of disappointment too. And in a lot of areas, I haven't achieved or reached certain heights or certain things that I wanted to do, and I wrestle with that every day. And it's easy to wake up and think about, oh, I wish I had a better camera. Oh, I wish things had worked out better for me. Oh, I wish I was at this level. My whole industry is like kind of in the toilet right now. That's why I have a lot of time to make YouTube videos, because I'm not working as much. But like you wake up and you're thinking about that. And especially when you get older, you're thinking about all the things that went wrong, all the things you didn't achieve, all the things that you failed at. I'm thinking about the tools I don't have to do the things I want to do. If I only had this, if I only had this shiny new camera, if I only had this shiny new lens, if I only had this super awesome XYZ, whatever the it is, my life would be so much better. There's just one thing that can change all of this. It can change your perspective on everything. It can change your outlook. It can actually change the trajectory of your entire life. And I'm not trying to be a new age, hippy dippy, you know, those people, the ones that like wear patchouli and kind of baggy clothes. And I don't know. I don't want to give cliches. I don't want to be like one of those new age people. But you know what? There's a lot of truth there. There's a lot of truth there. One thing can change everything. And you know what that is? Gratitude. Gratitude. I didn't think about this a lot. I have for years been just looking ahead, not looking back too much, just looking at where I wanted to go, what I wanted to achieve, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to have. All the things were in front of me. And then I would kind of like look back a lot of times and see all the things that went wrong, mistakes I made, the ways I was cheated and screwed over, manipulated. I have in my life struggled with being in the moment and just living in my skin right now, right here. And by the way, this whole thing is not for me to like say, this is what you need to do. Look at me. I got it all right. This is what I'm just telling you what I struggle with, because maybe you're struggling with it too. I'm 51 years old, but I'm still learning how to cope with all that. I'm still learning how to be better. I'm still learning how to exist as a human in this ever-changing, very strange world. And if you sign up to be an artist, to be a creative, man, your life is gonna be different. It's gonna be more confusing. It's gonna be more complex. It's probably gonna be more difficult. Practice gratitude. I've been doing this now for the last few years, and I've really leaned into it hard this year. And even though like I'm not gonna get into it, maybe it'll go in my book someday. It'll actually go in my book. I just came from Africa, and you guys saw some of those videos, and it was all raw, raw, raw. There was some really hard shit that went down there. Really hard. Personal hard stuff. Interpersonal hard stuff. Stuff that it was pretty stupid, but it's hard. It was dark for me at times. And that's pretty common a lot of times on a creative job. What did I do every day? I would wake up and practice some gratitude. I would just start listing off, well, what's awesome right now? I'm in freaking Africa, all right? I get to be outside all day. I get to see amazing animals. So there's all this stuff going on that's difficult. I'm leaning into gratitude. Yeah, I wish I had this fancy new camera. I wish I had a medium format camera. I feel like if I had a medium format camera and I could do medium format portraits, I could really make my mark. Whatever, I just made that up. Actually, I do want to try like a GFX 100, and I think my friends at Fuji are gonna hook me up. I can't wait, actually. I really want to try that camera. But in the meantime, I'm grateful for what I do have. Yeah, I got a 35, I don't know, old Leica film camera. If that's all I had, I'd be super grateful. I'd just use that every day. Who cares? I'm thinking about getting an older camera anyways. Practice gratitude for what you do have in the moment, for the gear that you do. If you got a 20-year-old camera, big deal. Go out and use the hell out of that thing. Did I say everything I wanted to say? Let me look at my phone. It can change you. Every time you start thinking about something negative, something that's not going right, something that you're struggling with, just replace that thought or put a thought next to it of like, well, this is going right. I do have this. I got a roof over my head. I'm really grateful for that. I got a car that runs. I have some awesome cameras. I had a nice breakfast. There's food every day. Like really, what do you really have to complain about? I'm talking to myself. Yeah, gratitude. Practice it. It'll make your day better. That's my rant. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. We'll see you soon.